Robber mistakes me, cashier, as other customer offers to cut me in on robbery. I'm a convenience store cashier, and besides the occasional robbery, nothing really happens here. We've had a handful of super dramatic get-on-the-ground robberies, but most are just regular shoplifters. Because nothing really happens here, I like to make small talk with the people in the store to pass the time. Sometimes people have great stories. Sometimes we end up knowing someone in common. Sometimes it's just nice to make a person smile. The other day I was out from behind the register stocking shelves. I was the only person in the store because weekday afternoons are usually slow and because basically everyone's quit. It's getting cold here and the building still hasn't turned the heat on, so I had a hoodie over my uniform, short-sleeve shirt, and name tag. So I guess I just looked like a guy browsing the aisles. But it wasn't a problem because when a customer came in I'd say, "Let me know if you need anything," and that cleared it up. Maybe two came in the entire start of my shift. Just as things were wrapping up and I had a long dead streak, a guy about my age came in and seemed in a great mood. He also had a big hoodie, but it's cold out so I didn't think anything of it at all. I said, "Let me know if you need anything," from down where I was with the shelves, and he came and stood by me kind of giggling. Weird, but I've seen weirder. Whatever. Finally I said, "Can I help you?" And he just goes, "Hey." So I'm like, "Hi." And he starts talking to me about the logo on my hoodie, local sports team. And we go back and forth for a bit. My side of the conversation was normal. His side was really overstated. In hindsight, it's because he was nervous, but I was kind of checked out and didn't really care at the time. Like I'd say, "He's got a good arm, but his head just isn't in it this season." And this guy would reply, "Oh my God, the best arm, once in a lifetime talent. But he's not there at all. Gone. Trash, garbage. They should just cut him." I keep stocking the shelves, not thinking at all about the odd nature of what he's saying, and instead thinking in the back of my mind, is he gonna buy something or what? From there we actually got to talking about how we got into the game, and had a really heartfelt conversation about going with our fathers and sitting in the cheap seats, and did actually sort of bond a little. Finally we run out of sports commentary to make at one another though, so there was a wave of silence for a few minutes. Then he gets uncomfortably close to me and whispers, "I like you a lot, you know that." So my first thought was that this was some kind of gay thing. No problem at all if that's what you're into, it's not my scene though. So I took a healthy step back and told him thanks but no thanks. He laughed kind of manically and explained to me, no, he meant he liked me so he'd be willing to cut me in on what he was currently doing. I asked what that is. He explains, "Ain't nobody in here. I've got my truck outside. I'm gonna load it up with beer and shit. You seem like a good dude, so I'm tipping you off in case you want anything. Ain't no one here, it's easy money, bro." I couldn't believe it. He was trying to rob the store and he was telling me about it. I quickly realized his overly excited, socially inappropriate behavior must have been drugs. Rather than confront someone on drugs, in my experience their moods can change from perky to violent really quickly. I just went with my gut and decided to play along. I knew I needed an excuse to get back behind the register, so I said, "Good shit. Forget the beer though, man, I'm going for the real easy money," and hopped over behind the counter where I promptly, but discreetly, pressed the button that locks the doors from the inside, followed shortly by our brand new panic button. First time I'd ever used it, hoping there wouldn't be a time, but at least I wasn't genuinely panicking yet. At this point he's loaded both shoulders up with six-packs and headed for the door to make the first of what I'm sure he anticipated would be several trips. He pushed against the door with his hip, and of course it didn't budge, and he pushed pretty hard anticipating it would swing easily, so I felt kind of bad seeing him wince. He nearly dropped the beer. He turned to me, more frustrated than scared at this point, and went, "Rue, the door is jammed, can you give it a try?" I was nervous to step out from behind the register in case this guy had a weapon, so tried to deflect and was just like, "Maybe you've got to pull it." He started freaking out and was running around the store. He was trying the back door, but it locked as well. He was trying to climb up and reach the one tiny window we've got, but not only was it too high, it doesn't really fit a person. I kept playing dumb. Eventually the cops came. Took a while, and the guy had resorted to hiding in the stock room by the time they made it over. Not before first wrecking a couple aisles in his frenzy. But at least I was able to lock him in the stock room once he went inside. They came in to arrest the guy, and he starts trying to blame the whole thing on me, saying I set him up, saying I made him do it. It genuinely confused the police for a bit. So I don't work as a robber. I do work at the gas station, though how much longer will depend on how many more robberies I live down.
How did my ear scare you? This is a short one, but sweet. I'm listening to the Dune series again on Audible to prepare for the movie coming out. I'm in a Western wear store getting my winter hat reformed and cleaned. While they are doing that, I'm looking around as one does. I have my earphones in. Now I have a prosthetic ear on my right side that is held on by magnets. When I have earphones and I still put them in both ears to make things look even, and it takes up some of the weight that would just be hanging off my left side if I didn't. Not that the weight is heavy, just annoying. I'm kneeled over looking at some boots and my earphones are yanked off and there's a woman barking at me. I'm pissed because she's holding onto my earphones in her hand, and I can see my ear is still attached to them. I'm pissed that the image of a Karen barking while my ear is swinging from my earbud was enough to get me laughing. She stops and asks what's so darn funny. I point and ask if I can have my ear back. She looks down, screams, drops everything, and runs away. I went back to shopping and eventually got my head taken care of. I hope she dreams about my ear every night. The end.
Check out my other great videos.